All right, it's time to strip out my mustache wax. I've been wearing Death Grip's original Death Grip for 3 days now. A day longer than I'd really like to, but I really like the way this one came out. And anyone that's had a really good beard day or a really good mustache day, your mustache or your beard doesn't always style exactly the same. So when I have a really good mustache day or a day that I really like how the mustache came out, so I really like this wider fan that comes up into a thinner curve, pretty equal on both sides. So I kind of rocked it and I slept in it the first night, woke up the next day, and really all I needed to do was kind of come through the center and it looked great. And then the same thing this morning when I woke up, I was like, wow. And so kind of just went with it, but it's time to strip it out. And so I've got so many different oils and butters that I haven't used. And I'm going to try and start forcing myself to use them. And I was actually between two different ones. So I pull out my drawer. I originally was going to go with True North Winter Break. And as I was about to start, I was like, no, let me try True North. That's my jam because I am a foodie scent, kind of sweet dessert scent kind of guy. And I tend to gravitate towards scents that I have already used. And so every time I grab for That's My Jam, I tend to grab Pound Town instead, which for those that don't know, Pound Town is basically strawberry shortcake here. And That's My Jam is berry jam and vanilla glazed waffles. So I haven't used it yet. I've smelled it a ton. I just haven't. It's brand new. I haven't. Same with the oil. I haven't put it in yet. So we'll use that tonight. Give it a good shake. Actually, can I just use my fingers? And so Death Grip's original Death Grip wax is a very high pine rosin based wax. Got a ton of pine rosin in there. And so if you style your mustache and you have a beard and you wonder why your wax doesn't hold up and you're treating your mustache the same as you treat your beard by putting oil in first, then wax is oil soluble and it is going to break down the wax. So it won't negate the wax altogether, but as you can see, like it already is starting to separate. Right? And so this is where I would separate if I was going to do double handlebars. So there's my separation for double handlebars. But as you can see, just putting a little bit in has already broken down a good amount of the wax. So if you have a beard and you want to do handlebar styled mustache styled beard, then style your beard first and separate the mustache, making sure not to get any or too much oil that your hairs won't absorb it. Make sure your hairs are completely dry in your mustache before putting in wax. And then, so the other part of that is if you want a more natural styled handlebar mustache, and you're wondering, should I use butter? Should I use balm? What type of balm? Should I use a high hold balm? Should I use a light hold balm? Should I use a wax? Or you don't want to use wax because you don't want that waxed look. You're looking for that more natural look. You can still go with like a light hold wax, like a Death Grip's got a bare bones, which is a very They call it a medium hold wax. I consider it more on the lighter side. And you can always add some oil to it, and it will take away some of the wax's hold and give you an even more natural styled hold with wax. So don't negate wax altogether because you think that all waxes are the same. They aren't. That's why I have so many different waxes from so many different companies, because they could all say they have the same amount of same ingredients in there, but they have different amounts. Natural shed. They have different amounts of wax, the type of beeswax or the type of candela wax that they have in there, or the amount of pine rosin, or the amount of lanolin, or carrier oils that they have in there. So not all waxes are created equal. I'm going to put just a little bit more oil. And so the good thing about using oil to break down the wax is what you're trying to do is keep from unnecessarily yanking out hairs. This is really good. So if I remember correctly, Tara is the brainchild behind That's My Jam. So you don't know True North. True North is owned and operated by Chris and Tara. And for the most part, Tara is going to be your foodie scents. She does like her dark scents too. But typically she's going to be the one behind most of the foodie type scents. And Chris is going to be behind more of the cologne type scents. And they are known for two things: their cologne scents and their zero grit beard butter. So I like to start off with a more wide tooth mustache comb and then work my way into a finer tooth. Like I said, the goal is to mitigate as much as I can of the yanking out hairs. All right, so that's most of the wax out. And then, like I said, zero grit. It's super smooth. And so there is stripping for the night, courtesy of True North. That's My Jam.